Hi there, this is Art and Such with my Rainbow Loom tutorial for Astro from the Jetsons, and he goes with the rest of my Jetson set. We will be doing what you see here, although I will show you how to make the nose shorter if that's what you'd like. I'll be making one arm with you, and I'll have you do the other arm and legs on your own. And everything else we will be doing together. Most of this is done on the loom. We'll do a little with the hook. You're going to need a C-clip, a couple of green bands for the collar, white for the nose, 3 black bands for the nose, gray bands, and I'll be using a couple of small pony beads for the eyes, white, with a black Sharpie marker, but you can use black and white bands or bands of another color if that's what you have at your disposal. Now, one really quick note, I haven't been able to get a hold of the proper official Rainbow Loom gray bands lately, and the ones I'm using are extra stretchy. So you might find that your arm comes out looking shorter and you might wish to add a chain, or you might find that you don't need as many wraps or loops when we're doing some of the tighter pieces. And I think we're ready to begin. So let me show you how to do one arm and we'll go from there. We take a single gray band and you'll wrap it 3 times around your hook. As I said, mine are stretchy, so mine are going to wrap 4 times. And your second band will get doubled over. And we take the first wrapped one and pull it on top. This will be one of our kind of paw fingers. Put the other end back on and repeat this 2 more times. Single gray band wrapped 3 times and pulled over a doubled over gray. Slide it down, add 1 more finger. 1, 2, 3, and doubled over gray. Grab 2 bands and we're going to slide these on top, but we won't replace the end just yet. I'm going to hold, see the band I'm using and the hook are both in my left hand as I am right-handed, and with my right hand I can pull it over while keeping tension. Slide it to the middle, and before we put the back end on again, we're going to take 2 more grays and wrap them about 3 times. If yours are a little bit loose, you can wrap it 4 times. Now grab 2 more grays, and together we're going to slide everything off of the hook now. Try and keep it in order as best you can. My bands are going all over the places. They're a really rotten ones to work with, but we'll do our best here. We're going to do 6 more sets of double gray bands. So take 2, slide these on, take 2, slide it on, and a third set of 2, 4, 5, and 6. Have a look. If it looks short to you, add 1 more set. If your bands are a little stretchy like mine, you can leave it like that. And you are going to need a total of 4 of these pieces. So I'll ask you to pause your video and get these ready, and when you're ready, we'll come back to the loom. Okay, so this is set up for the body. I'm using 3 bands from the top peg to the second peg in the center to give us a strong neck. And then we come down from the second center to the second right with double gray, second center to the second left with double gray, 7 sets of double gray bands coming down the side, starting at the second peg and going until your 5th peg from the bottom. 7 sets. And on the left hand, 7 sets, and bring 2 bands in from that bottom peg here. This was again our 5th peg from the bottom. Bring that to the 4th peg from the bottom on the middle, so it's coming down diagonally, and repeat that on the other side. This is a pretty basic animal body shape we're using here. Go back to the top to your 2nd peg from the top and fill in all of the spaces of the pegs between with double gray bands, coming down until you reach that 4th peg from the bottom of the loom in the center. When you're at this point, you can take a single gray and cap off that bottom center peg. I would suggest 3 times. I'm going to make mine a little tighter again, as it is a stretchier band. We can add our arms and our legs. Those go on the 2 pegs, which are 2nd from the bottom on either side, and on the bottom side pegs. So transfer all the bands. And it doesn't matter too much which piece goes on which peg, unless you have made 2 of them deliberately longer or shorter for one set of limbs over the other. And it's all very nice and floppy, but it'll look good when we're done. We're going to do our holding bands, and I'm using double bands, so it's kind of firm. If you only want single bands, you want to conserve bands or save yourself a little work, you can use singles. I'll be taking, however, 2 bands and putting them from the 3rd peg down to the 3rd peg down and bringing it over the 3rd peg down in the center to make a triangle. And we'll do the same from the 4th peg to the 4th peg. Triangle. And this goes for each set of pegs all the way down until we reach our legs. So that's the 3rd one, 4th one, 5 sets, 6, and 7 will go right over the leg, and we are ready to loop. Grab a hook with a nice small size, and you are carefully going to get under your capping band. Find your top 2 bands from the right. Oh, from the top, I think we did our top ones first. And bring those up and over. So it comes up through and back to the top. Go inside and get your next 2 bands and bring them over to the right. And the last 2, of course, are going to the left. I'm going to loop up the side. I'm going to push back all of these bands and find these 2 which are underneath. This is one of the hardest parts here. I always find it's trickier when you're working with several bands of the same color than even if you had, 30 of them of different shades, different colors. This is still harder. Get your next bottom 2, stay inside of your triangle bands, and loop all the way up to the top now. Find these 2 pieces, your 2 diagonal pieces, and we're going to get them from under the arm. Well, here I'm going to pull it to the side so we can see it a little better. Grab those up and over to the center, and we'll repeat this on the right side, starting under the leg with the bottom 2 and looping straight upwards once more. I actually tried this a little differently the first time I was going about it. I really liked Kate Schultz's Scooby-Doo design and the roundness of the body. It was a lot of work, but the results were good. And I tried something similar for my Astro here, but I found the nose didn't quite work for his character. And I thought we would keep this a little, a little more simple, but if you find you aren't happy with this and you're very ambitious, you can try the full round body that she does in her Scooby-Doo video. Alright, so we're all looped up the side. We're going to come back down to that second peg from where we finished. And we're going to go inside and loop upwards our 2 bands for each set. And now we're going to go straight to the top of the loom. Okay, bottom bands only, and we're looking for 3 in the top grouping. Keep a hold on the bands on the top center peg and ease off the rest from your loom. Being really careful here not to break my bands. And we're going to take 2 green bands, put them onto the hook, grab the bands off of the top peg and pull it off, and slide our green bands over so we now have our collar right around the neck. And I think I like the way the back side looks better, so I'm going to take my hook and slide it through from the other direction. And our body is ready. We can put it on the side. We'll add the tail at the end. For our ears, we're going to take a single band. Let me just transfer this so I have my nice hook to work with here. There we are. We're going to take a single band, wrap it tight. Once more, you'll want about 3 to 4 wraps. I'm going to do 5 on mine. And you're going to take a single, double it over, slide your wrapped band on top. Make sure you've got them all. You can see I have an extra piece here which hasn't slid over properly. Alright, try this again. And we're going to get another single, double it over, place this on top. Here you can play around with the length of your ears, add another if you like. This should give you about this length that you see here. We're going to do another ear for the other side, of course. Single, wrapped 3-4 times, as tight as you'd like it, and put it on a doubled over single. And grab another single, double it over, slide this on top. For our head, we're coming back to the loom. We're still in the offset configuration, and we're coming down from the top center to the top right with double bands. Top center to the top left with double bands. Down 3 times on either side with double. And then inwards, side 4th to the center 5th, left 4th to the center 5th, fill in the middle with double bands. There's 1 set, 2 sets, 3 sets and 4 sets. We will add our ears on the top side pegs. And we're going to get our eyes ready. So pop those on the hook if it'll fit. If not, you can get some dental floss. And we're going to slide these onto a single gray and just hold on to onto that for a second. Now let's come back to the loom. We're going to do a single band triangle from the second to the second over the second. And we're going to make eyebrows. So place a single band from the second left to the second center, and from the second right to the second center. So it's overlapping that triangle band. And then our eyes will go across those 2 pegs. You can separate your eyes. I'm going to pull mine over onto the peg below, but you don't have to. Oh, maybe we will keep it the way it is. Yeah, we'll just keep it separate. This will prevent it from sliding downwards. And we're going to put 2 more triangle bands and then we'll make our nose. So right below, 3rd to the 3rd, and from the 4th to the 4th. For our nose, we're going to take maybe we will add our body first, and okay, we have a little securing to do first just to make sure this is all good. Take the bands on your hook and place them on that 5th peg down in the center. And we're going to do a little looping up first to make sure nothing comes off. So come under the neck, grab your 2 top bands and bring them upwards. Find your next 2 and bring them to the right. And the last 2 go up to the left. Loop up once on either side. Loop up once in the center. And let me double check my picture again, make sure we've got it all perfectly correct. Yep. Now we're going to take 3 single black bands and wrap them onto the hook 2 times. 1, 2, and pull them onto 2 white bands. Before you put the other end on, we need to take 4 bands, white bands, and we're going to keep this tight, place this on the end, slide it through, and grab the 4 with the other side of the hook there. Take your other 2, put it on, and we're going to take 4 more and slide it through the 2 on the far, like on the side closest to the end, and replace. So this needs 2 more white bands and then it is ready to go on the face. If you want this to be longer, you can add another set through these, like pull another 2 or 4 bands through this side and 2 or 4 through here. If you want this to be a little shorter or smaller, you can take off a couple of these bands in our sets of 4. We're going to put this from the 3rd peg down to the 3rd peg down. For the bottom of the mouth, we're going to take 2 bands, white, and take them from the 3rd peg down to the 4th peg down on the right side. Push this all down a little. And from the 3rd to the 4th down on the left side. Take a single, double it over, stretch it from the 4th right to the 5th center. Push everything down. And another one from the 4th left to the 5th center, doubled over, push down. Grab another single white, and we're going to cap this about 3 times. Take your hook, go inside, and find your top 2 bands, bring them back to the left side. Carefully, carefully, hold on, don't lose your capping band. Go in again, get the next 2 white, and return them to the right side. I'm going to come around from the side, see if that gives me a better grasp here. There. Loop up once on each side, whites only. Loop up the middle one time between the eyes. Loop up the left one time, bottom 2 grays only. And the same on the right side. Okay. And we're going to get our eyebrow piece, which is right here on the top. Get under your cap band or your eyepiece, whichever's there. Find that single. It should be really loose. I'm going to hold mine out to the side. Grab it. As I said, working with a lot of the same color does get difficult, but we can do this. We're going to find that piece and lift it up and back to the center. And on the other side, same thing. Find your loose top single piece. Get under your eye. Grab the eyebrow. And pull it to the center. Loop up one more time on each of your rows. I'm going to do the sides first, 2 bands each time. Get under that eyebrow. And loop inwards diagonally, top pegs to the center. And from the right side to the center. Loop up the middle one more time and get under everything and only grab your bottom 2. And we will take a securing band to hold it. Stick it through. Open part of your hook facing inwards away from you. Slide it up. You can use 2 bands if you want it to be extra secure, and pull one end over the other. Take this off your loom. And pop your eyes through the front. You can give your nose a little adjustment, a little tug to straighten it. Hide your securing band at the back. If you want, I'll tell you this now, if you want your Astro to be kind of more upright, you can pull this band through a little lower and secure it under a couple of these, a couple of bands at the back. That will make him sit a little straighter. Let's grab a C-clip. I'm just gonna have him sort of straight regular. As I said, press your eyes through. If you are using beads, you can use a Sharpie at this point. I'm just doing a couple of large dots at the bottom right. Makes it look like he's looking to the side. If you want, you can draw on a kind of extra mini eyelid eyebrow too, which is what I did on this first one. And we will make a tail. For that we need a link of 10 doubled over singles. So we'll take the first one, wrap it 3 times. And as I say, 10 doubled over singles. Slide it on top. Second one, double it over, slide this on top. 3, you can play around with the length here as well. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and one more. It's 10. Okay, I'm gonna go to the back. I'll get one band doubled over at the ready. I'm gonna take 1/2 of these, like 2 of these pieces off of the hook, slide it through a section in the bottom. I'm just gonna go under a couple of the bands in the spine. And we're gonna put the other end back and take our doubled over band, bring it through all of those. Put one end over the other to create a slip knot once it's all back on the hook. If you're having a hard time with this, you can always do it with a single band. You just might want to wrap it more after. And you can use a C-clip, or you can wrap it around the tail a couple of times. Pull it to the bottom. If you want your Astro to sit up, what we can do to pose him, to make him sit, to have his legs up even if you want, is you go through the side of the body and you go through a section of the arm. You take a single band, slide it back through, pull one end over the other, and secure it in the back, and that will keep the piece snugger to where you want it. Alright, so give everything a stretch, and you have your Astro. I hope you'll check out more of my Jetsons family. Alright, thank you for watching.